Donkey Kong Drywall has you taken up the reins as Seth Rogen's monkey who's addicted to the banana almost as much as Turbo Granny and a bunch of sus aliens.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Ooh, banana.
When a cracked out ape steals every phallic-shaped fruit in the area with the help of his pissed off, too old for this shit monkey bro and bedroom eyes McGee, I swear every cutscene I feel like she's thinking about a completely different banana, and I'm okay with it. It's up to DK and Pauline to save the day. Wait, isn't this the same Pauline that Cranky Kong used to kidnap back in the day? This game just casually rewrote the entire Donkey Kong lore, and I'm pissed about it. Join DK as you meet the innocent locals casually invite yourself into their homes and just generally be a nuisance to society. In a game where instead of high-octane platforming is the key to progress, like with Best Boy Mario, this pissed off Harambe just breaks shit. Like, that's all you do in this game, is break shit. Honestly, this game is an OCD's nightmare. Like, this is straight up sleep paralysis demon levels for these guys. Dude, look at all the gold. I have to mine it all. Oh, this scratches my brain so good. Rock and stone, brother. Jesus, it's been 2 hours and I haven't even progressed past the tutorial. This is gonna be a long game. Is Donkey Kong Bananza really that good, or just an overpriced, overhyped title on an equally overpriced and overhyped console? Well, join me, a dude in a tie, and let's take a look. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and DK, smash the like button and bell notification. You guys have told me you're not getting notified when I go live, so yeah, hit the thing. I upload occasionally. Okay, so this is actually a first for the channel. Kind of mental that, considering I'm quite the Nintendo fanboy. I've never actually done a video on any games by that publisher. I'm not making a stance or anything, it's purely out of fear, as I don't want to give my third unborn child's soul to Miyamoto, just for saying that Zelda's pretty good. But hey, hopefully they don't power weld me and take the channel to court for making this video. Bananza is what I call a video game. There's no real story to follow, there's no in-depth character development, and the layers you progress through in the game are very heavily designed on just classic level progression in games like the original Mario's or even Donkey Kong Country. There's no real connection from each of these areas, it's just a new level design for you to explore, and honestly, it's kind of refreshing. The core of DK Bananza, get it, because you dig down to the planet's core, is just fun gameplay, and despite what people say, I think that's something that Nintendo excels at, and they don't disappoint here. Bananza is primarily your classic 3D platformer and collectathon, and you can very instantly tell it's the exact same team that made Mario Odyssey. They jumped on this project straight after releasing that game, and though it is very similar, DK does stand out thanks to the environment and how it plays with the player. Everything, and I mean everything, is just like my first marriage. So easily destroyed. It's like DK took all of the best parts of these games and used them to make an absolute masterpiece. DK is a powerhouse and can dig through almost any terrain in the game, which is awesome, but is kind of a double-edged sword. On the one side, it can make puzzles far more creative to solve. Like here, I needed to get these little guys back to their mother, but as soon as they touch water, the child benefits stop. So I racked my monkey brain a little bit and started using the mud around the area to build like a makeshift bridge. Nothing pushed me to do this, and I felt like I tapped into the Matrix. I don't know if this is right, but I'm just gonna make a mud bridge. I feel like a child playing in a puddle right now. It took me about 20 minutes to build this bridge because, I mean, the game's just not designed to do that, but it was quite satisfying to complete the puzzle. But then I realized this is Donkey Kong Bananza and I could have just punched a hole through the terrain and saved myself a lot of time. In this game, you can either overthink puzzles or just not think at all and use your monkey brain. Now that's really cool, letting the player work out how they want to solve the puzzles, but like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It can mean that this can quite easily be how you solve 90% of the puzzles in the game. More often than not, I'll just be stampeding through hefty chunks of the level design, just getting that sweet dopamine, and just accidentally come across bananas. And most of the time, I never actually saw the developer's puzzle on how to actually get that banana. Usually there's like a skill check or a bit of a puzzle, or maybe it's even an area you can't get to yet, technically, without an ability. But more often than not, you can just find them by just steam training through the area. Now, some of them are purposely just put in a random bit of rock for you to come across as you're digging. But yeah, more often than not, it was just me steamrolling through a level, and I would find 5 or 6 bananas before I even got to the first checkpoint. I really like this open-ended design philosophy, but I can see how it might get boring very quickly for other gamers. If you don't get your brain scratched from just breaking shit all the time, it's gonna feel very shallow. Fortunately, I do like doing that stuff. I'm a menace to society. I used to sit in the bathroom making little fires with a lighter and some toilet paper. I was a fucked up kid. DK also gets a bunch of abilities, and they are so fitting for a roided out, pissed off monkey. He can grab chunks of terrain and use them as weapons, melee or throwable. And he can even surf on the stuff he rips out of the land, like he's playing Tears of the Kingdom. Bananas are DK's bread and butter, but you can also collect fossils that could be used to change Kong's fit. And finally, all my life I've been waiting for a tie system to be implemented into a game. Finally, I can just customize ties. And unlike with Mario Odyssey, not only do you get the nipples right out of the gate, but these outfits actually have perks and can be upgraded, so you get to min-max your funny monkey. The issue I found though is the first tie you can unlock gives you a percentage buff on finding treasure chests, which give you maps to bananas and fossils, the stuff you need to get a full 100%. This is the best tie you can get in the game, and it's the first one, so you don't really need to customize too much. It's a shame, I wish there was some more crazy perks. But it's pretty cool to start getting this sort of customization in these Nintendo products. We've made some massive strides from back in the day where you could just get Link in RGB. There's also gold you can collect.
I love gold!
And honestly, you really don't need to do this. Other than a few consumables you can buy and the odd Lumeresque tree that is just a glutton for gold. It's just a funny number that goes up. Gold is super irrelevant, but don't worry, that's not going to stop you. You will feel this impulse to collect every little bit you see. And that's just because it's so satisfying to do. The art and sound design is so perfect. Punching, collecting, sleeping. Even the goddamn tutorial music is pure fire. I didn't think these guys could beat One Up Girl, but the Kong song in Bananza, mwah, it slaps. Pauline can also transform DK, but I'm gonna be honest, the game kind of falls a bit short on this aspect. Other than his Kong form that lets you smash through terrain, Gudera, the ostrich, zebra, snake, and elephant are very situational. I didn't find myself using these unless I absolutely had to progress, whereas the Kong, I used the Kong a lot. I was also pretty stoked to see that they're actually going to have 2-player co-op in DK Bananza. It'd be so cool to get my partner or a friend or whatever to smash through terrain with me and see if the Switch doesn't blow up. And it was one thing I thought Mario Odyssey missed was a 2-player co-op mode. Get Luigi in there. It would have been awesome. But again, Nintendo just half-asses this aspect. This game mode is just there to have a second player have something to do with their hands. You just assist player 1 and shout a lot. I'm sure this won't get annoying almost instantly. Other than the overworld, there are these shrine-like mini challenges, just like with Mario Odyssey. These are bite-sized puzzles usually centered around a specific gimmick. They are unfortunately very, very easy for most players, unless you're a game journalist.
I don't understand. What the hell's going on? What? They explained nothing.
Then not so much. My personal favorite out of these is a physics-based puzzle where you had to destroy the terrain to stop these spike balls from blocking your path. Again, wasn't very hard, but the gimmick was solid and it lit up my brain with the happy chemicals, so I liked it. And there are like hundreds of these little puzzles, so go wild. DK Bananza's story is, it's simplistic, I'll say that. Bad monkeys steal good monkeys' bananas, then they fight. Good monkey saves the day and Pauline gets over a stage fright. That's kind of it. There's no Candy Kong either, so thumbs down. So yeah, it's not quite Expedition 33's level of storytelling, but it is a notch above Fat Plumber Just Wants to Get Laid. So there's that. The art style is absolutely phenomenal. Again, knocked out of the park by this team. Mario Odyssey was an amazing title, looked so damn good on the Switch 1, and Donkey Kong takes it a step further with the animations. I know people have issues with the Seth Rogen look and design from the animated movie. I don't really care, it still looks like DK to me. And thanks to the new look, the facial animations just don't look as stilted. There's more emotion to this DK, and I love to see it. The attention to detail as well, massive W. Doing a spin with DK, yeah, it looks pretty good. He's breaking down. Go DK, go DK, go DK. Once you get Pauline, they could have just had her in the ball spinning as well. Maybe just make her a little bit of a blur. But no, they went full send on this stuff. They made a little animation of Pauline trying to keep balance while Kong is spinning out of control. And they did not need to do that. Love that stuff. Attention to detail in video games has always been something that really, really makes me happy. It shows developers care and they have a bit of fun with the title. The sub-levels look absolutely gorgeous too. The fire and ice, still my all-time aesthetically pleasing idea for a level. The cold blues and fiery reds, they just go together so nicely. I remember seeing it in Mario Galaxy for like the first time and was blown away. You also get like forest levels that as you progressively go down in the level, it gets more poison swamp-esque. It's pretty basic stuff, but I like it. It fits the game. A negative I do have though is the models for the terrain. Because they have to break apart down to the pixel, they don't look very good. It gives me a bit of Deep Rock Galactic syndrome. It's not a massive issue, and in that game it worked because the whole design was built around that. Here it kind of feels like I'm DK in a different game. But like I said, I get it. They have to do these sort of models because, you can break any polygon. And you will do that a lot. And that leads me to the performance. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of the little Switch 2 so far. There is a lot going on in this game, and all the brick and mortaring you're doing to the terrain, it doesn't despawn or reset. It stays in the level unless you manually go into the map and reset it yourself. It's kind of impressive. It's remembering all this damage you're doing, and it rarely drops frames. It does do it a handful of times, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm super impressed. Maybe I'm just broken after using the Switch 1 way past its expiration date. That console would start smoking if you went into a new room in Binding of Isaac. But Bananza being a pseudo launch title for the system, it showcases the powerhouse pretty nicely. And that's not including that this was originally being planned for the Switch 1. And I'm so glad it didn't launch on the Switch 1. I cannot imagine what that game would be like, but I guarantee you it would not be playing as well as this one. Generally, cannot wait to see what other first-party titles release on this thing. So I've said a few positives, I've said a few negatives, but is Donkey Kong Bananza really that good? Well, it lasts about 15 to 20 hours. That's not including going for all the collectibles or having OCD, but it's still a pretty meaty title. A big drawback for me is the boss fights. They are probably the weakest part of this entire game. They are far too easy to beat. You walk into an arena, go into Kong Bananza, and you punch them a couple of times, boom, done. Not even 10 seconds. Now, I guess that makes sense. Put me in a 1v1 against a gorilla, I'm sure I'll get my face eaten off in record time as well. But there just wasn't enough of a challenge here. Other than that though, a super solid title. I just wish Nintendo wasn't going full corpo with these prices. At the very least, the 80 quid that was being rumored around the Switch 2's launch for Donkey Kong Bananza did drop down to an okay-ish 64, but it's still more than what I'd expect the average gamer would be willing to pay. I mean, I'd sell a kidney to buy the next cool game. But for an industry that used to be so niche and it's now probably bigger than movies, I would have hoped that games would have lowered or at least stayed more consistent with the pricing. Nintendo had taken a gamble trying to overcharge their fan base, and I hope it doesn't pay off, but I also do want to see more from this publisher, so it's going to put me in a bit of a weird fence-sitting perspective. And I get more concerned when I look at different titles in the space. I mean, look at these two games. They are so very different in design. You cannot rate these games really together, as some people try to do, and it's wrong. But one is a quirky fun time, and the other one to me is pure art. These prices don't reflect that in the slightest, and it's just greed. On top of an already overpriced console, in my opinion, it just hurts some of the general players. And they might not give the game a shot, as right now cost for entry is just too damn high. And we all know this publisher's games never go down in price, so it's going to stay that high bar probably until the Switch 5. Now that's a shame, and yeah, I do wish more people had access. Money's tight for everyone at the moment. It does suck. But on the positive, hopefully that means people haven't played the game and they'll watch this video. I need the views. Thanks, Nintendo. Please don't sue me. I'll never not love how intuitive and groundbreaking Nintendo is with its IPs, as long as it's not Paper Mario. I'll never get past my Nintendo boy phase. These games give me childhood wonder that adult life has tried so hard to snuff out over the years. Hell, it's why I permanently stained my arm with the Zelda logo, out of pure love for the franchise. And I'm surprised I don't have to pay Miyamoto dividends for the privilege. If you have a Switch 2 already and you don't mind the price tag, 100%, this is the perfect launch title for the system. It's a good time, worth it, but I don't know, if you can, try and grab it in a sale. But we all know that's rarer than a new F-Zero game. And I mean, what else are you going to use your Switch 2 for? Titty drop on the eShop? Actually. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you made it this far, I'd love to see you legends in the comment section. So put ooh banana down there so I can see the real ones from the guys who watch 30 seconds and cringe out. Also love to give a massive shout out to my Patreons for supporting me and going above and beyond the last few months. The algorithm has been hitting me hard pretty much consistently, and you guys have been the lifeboat that's kept this monkey channel going. Big shout out to Pitstab, Alitato, Chris Spicer, and the Critical Quacker. Again, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there and stay fashionable, gents. Tie out. Peace.